Switzerland and Colombia face off in a knockout match where there is no room for error and the prize is huge, a spot among the top 8 teams on the planet. The match will be played at the spectacular BC Place in Vancouver, one of the most modern stadiums in Canada, and the venue for several of the most important matches of this World Cup. An extraordinary atmosphere is expected, with thousands of Colombian fans traveling to Vancouver to support Nestor Lorenzo's team. But from now on, it doesn't matter how you got here. It doesn't matter if you finished first in your group. It doesn't matter if you struggled to qualify. Everything starts over. 90 minutes extra time if necessary, and if needed, a penalty shootout. Only one will keep dreaming of lifting the World Cup, so let's go straight to the information everyone is looking for. What time is the Switzerland vs. Colombia match? In Spain, the match will start at 10 p.m. in Portugal. It will kick off at 9 p.m. in Colombia. The ball will start rolling at 3 p.m. and in Peru and Ecuador, it will also begin at 3 p.m. In Panama, it will also be at 3 p.m. In Mexico Central Time, the match will start at 3 p.m. In Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, and Nicaragua, it will start at 2 p.m. In Venezuela, Bolivia, Chile, and Paraguay, the opening whistle will be at 4 p.m. In Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil, the match will start at 5 p.m. In the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Cuba, it will begin at 4 p.m. If you're following us from the United States, these are the times. East Coast, New York, Miami, Orlando, 4 p.m. Central Time, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, Denver, 2 p.m. West Coast, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, and Vancouver, 1 p.m. In Canada, Toronto, Ottawa, and Montreal, 4 p.m. Winnipeg, 3 p.m. Calgary and Edmonton, 2 p.m. Vancouver, 1 p.m. So now, make sure to check your schedule because Colombia is facing one of the most important matches of the World Cup against a Swiss team that always competes at the highest level and wants to get back among the top teams in the tournament. Block 2. Where to watch Switzerland versus Colombia, TV channels, and official platforms. And now, let's get to the big question. Where can you watch it live? Where to watch Switzerland versus Colombia? If you are in Colombia, the match can be watched completely free on Caracol Television and RCN Television. In addition, it will also be available through the Sports and the DGO platform, which will offer complete coverage. Several hours before the start of the match, there will be analysis, live connections from Vancouver, and all the pre-match coverage. In Spain, the match can be watched on Televisión Española's La One channel. In addition, RTV Play will allow you to follow the match from any device. It will also be available on DAZN, which continues to provide full coverage of the 2026 World Cup. In Switzerland, the match can be followed on SRF, RTS, and RSI, depending on the language region, as well as on the official platforms with broadcasting rights. In Portugal, the broadcast will be handled by Sport TV. In Mexico, the match will be available on Canal 5, Las Estrellas, TUDN, and VIX. In the United States, there will be 2 options to follow the match. In English, Fox Sports app and Fox 1. In Spanish, Telemundo, Peacock, and Fubo. In Canada, the match can be watched on TSN, CTV, and RDS. In South America, in addition to the Sports and DGO, it will also be available on the main national networks. Argentina, Telefe, Taisi Sports, The Sports, and DGO. Chile, Chilevisión, The Sports, and DGO. Uruguay, The Sports, and DGO. Paraguay, Tigo Sports, The Sports, and DGO. Brazil, TV Globo, Sport TV, and KCTV. Peru, America Televisión, The Sports, and DGO. Ecuador, Teleamazonas, The Sports, and DGO. Venezuela, Televen, The Sports, and DGO. Bolivia, Retuno, Unitel, The Sports, and DGO. And if you're following us from Central America, take note. Costa Rica, Teletica, Guatemala, Chapin TV. Honduras, Televicentro, El Salvador, TCS. Nicaragua, Canal 10, Panama, RPC, TV, and TVN. Additionally, in the Caribbean, countries like the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Cuba will be able to watch the match through the sports, DGO, and local operators that have the rights to broadcast the World Cup. So now you know. It doesn't matter where in the world you're watching us from. Switzerland and Colombia are starring in an exciting knockout match with a ticket to the quarterfinals at stake. The Colombian team wants to keep making history, while Switzerland is looking to confirm once again that they are one of the toughest teams to beat in major tournaments. After going over the schedule and where to watch the match, it's time to talk about what could decide this knockout matchup. The possible lineups and key tactical factors for Switzerland versus Colombia. Let's start with Colombia. Nestor Lorenzo could go with a very recognizable 4-2-3-1 with balance in the midfield and a lot of freedom for his most dangerous players. The possible Colombian lineup would have Camilo Vargas as goalkeeper. In defense, Daniel Munoz as right back, Davinson Sanchez and Carlos Cuesta as center backs, and Johan Mojica as left back. In the double pivot, Jefferson Lerma could appear. Lerma and Richard Rios, two key players to support the team, win duels, and prevent Switzerland from counterattacking after losing the ball. Ahead of them, the line of three would be key. Luis Diaz on the left, James Rodriguez as the attacking midfielder, and John Arias on the right. And up front, as the main striker, John Cordoba or Rafael Santos Borré, depending on whether Lorenzo is looking for more physical strength or more mobility. Switzerland, meanwhile, may use a 3-4-2-1 formation. In goal, it would be Jan Sommer. The back three could be made up of Manuel Akanji, Nico Elvedi, and Ricardo Rodriguez. On the wings, Sylvan Widmer on the right and Michel Ebischer on the left. In the center of the field, Granit Xhaka would be the team's clear fulcrum, accompanied by Remo Freuler. Up front, Dan Doye and Ruben Vargas could move between the lines, leaving Breel Embolo as the center forward. The big battle will be in the center of the field. Colombia needs to prevent Xhaka from playing comfortably. If the Swiss captain gets on the ball with time and space, Switzerland can control the pace, slow down the match, and take it to a very uncomfortable scenario. That's why the work of Lerma, Richard Rios, and James will be fundamental. Another key will be on the flanks. Luis Diaz against Widmer or Akanji could be one of the decisive matchups. If Lucho manages to take on his man with an advantage, Colombia can break the game open. The space behind the Swiss wingbacks will also be important. If Switzerland pushes their wingers up too much, Colombia can find space to run with Diaz, Arias, and Munoz. In defense, Colombia will have to be very alert to Embolo, a strong, troublesome striker who is very dangerous when attacking crosses from the wings, and watch out for set pieces. Switzerland has height, good set-piece takers, and very strong players in the air. Colombia can't give away unnecessary fouls near the box. This match could be decided by the smallest details: a turnover, a transition, a corner kick, or a moment of brilliance from James or Luis Diaz. Colombia has the talent to win, but Switzerland has the experience to make anyone suffer.